Hi everyone, it's Nicole Wilkins with FitnessRx for Women, and this is my next question and answer segment where I took your questions from Facebook and I'm going to answer them for you today. The first question is, I'm 44 and I'm looking to lose fat, not weight. Should I up my weight training, cardio, and focus more on my food or all? I eat about 1,200 good calories per day, any more, and I tend to gain weight, and I do weight training 3 days and moderate cardio 3 days. Low carbs under 75 grams per day. I want to be lean and muscular and I have no problem working hard for it. If you want to lose fat and not weight, meaning you want to build muscle and lose body fat so that your weight stays the same, then I would focus more on the weights. Building more dense muscle is going to help that goal come to fruition. So a couple things here. Instead of weight training 3 days, I would up that to 5. Put more emphasis on your weight training. I would up your calories because 1,200 calories for anyone isn't really recommended for a long duration of time, especially if your goal is to build muscle. You've got to have a little bit more food than that. You don't have to increase your calories by a lot at one time. So just do, it could be 10 grams of carbs at once, or it could be 100 calories. So it doesn't have to be huge changes, but making sure that you make the right choices and the healthier choices is going to help prevent you from gaining the weight that you're nervous to gain. 75 grams per day is pretty low. So try some of those things. Is there any difference between chin-ups and pull-ups, or are they the same thing? Yes, there is a difference between chin-ups and pull-ups. Chin-ups are with your hands reverse, so there's a little bit more bicep focus, and pull-ups are your hands forward, and there's narrow shoulder width apart grip and wide grip for pull-ups. They're more difficult than chin-ups. Hi Nicole, what could be causing my back to get really tight after squatting? Do you have any advice as to what might be causing this any reason why this might be causing this? I squat heavy but use a belt to help support my back. There is no pain at all, it just feels extremely tight and tense when I'm done squatting and sometimes impairs the rest of my workout. I make sure I warm up before performing my squats. Could it be my shoes? Do I need extra heel support? Thanks. This happens to me sometimes if I am lifting heavier than normal, and most of the time the reason is because your core is weak. So I would probably focus on, it's good that you're warming up really well, but do more core exercises. Do abs more often, do lower back strengthening exercises. Building up the lower back is going to definitely help, and obviously wearing a belt will help too. So if it's just the burning, like that muscle, it's just weakness. So just keep at it and then make sure that your form is proper. And when you start feeling that, that burning, rest a little bit longer before doing your next set. That should help. When trying to get defined muscles in weight training, how heavy is heavy? This is a really good question. I think heavy means something different to a lot of people. If you're new to weight training, you're not really sure if it's hurting you, or the burning is okay, or if you're struggling. Heavy is much different than someone who's been an avid lifter for a while. Heavy to me is where you're performing an exercise and you are struggling within the last 3 to 5 repetitions, maybe even reaching failure at the end of your lift for that set so that you can't perform the entire last repetition. That to me is heavy. If you're lifting with a weight where you can do 15 or more fairly easily, then that's not heavy enough. So pick a weight where at rep 10 to 12 you are struggling. In fact, you can't get more than 15, because at 15 you can barely push that last rep out. And that to me is heavy. And the last question I have is, I'm turning 50 this year and I have been working out for 10 years. I have put on at least 10 pounds of muscle, but I have a problem with bloating no matter what I eat. I take a probiotic daily. Have you ever had this problem? I also have that gravity problem in my thighs, and I have been and still am on my feet for hours. I'm not really sure, why you are feeling bloating. I would journal your meal plan so that you can see at certain times if you're feeling more bloating than normal or than other meals, if it's after carbohydrates, if it's after, if it's wheat or gluten, maybe it's an allergy, maybe it's after, there could be so many reasons for the bloating. Could be certain vegetables aren't digesting. Maybe fiber is causing the bloating. So, minimize the amount of fiber if you're taking in too many. It could be you're not drinking enough water. So it's a lot of different factors. Obviously, a probiotic can help, but I would try tracking and journaling your program to see if you can pinpoint at what times and after what meals causes the worst bloating, and see if you can make some changes there. So those are my questions for this week. Until next week, keep asking your questions on the FitnessRx for Women Facebook page, and I'll be back here every Friday to answer them for you. Until then, keep living the fit life.